Welcome to Huddle Adventures. My name is Eddie, and I am going to talk about travel insurance today. Last week, I posted a video, and in it, I mentioned the importance of travel insurance, but I didn't go into any details on it because it's kind of a complex issue, and I was trying to keep the video short. So, as promised, I said I would revisit travel insurance, and that is what I'm doing today. Now, a lot of people, when they're booking a cruise, they are unaware of all of the a la carte or additional items that end up going into the total price of your cruise. Now, some of those things are prepaid gratuities, which we're not going to go into that right now, but I'll do a video about prepaid gratuities in the future because it's another complicated issue and it's kind of a controversial one at that. And you also have your travel insurance. And then, the other things you're going to want to do, like excursions, if you're going to book them through the cruise line or not, especially dining packages, drink packages, all of those things. And we'll eventually break down all those different things at one time or another in a future video. But right now, I'm going to talk about travel insurance because that is always an option when you're in that final screen, when you're getting down to the bottom line on how much your cruise costs. You selected your room, all your options, and it will ask you, would you like to insure your trip? And it's usually from about 5% to 10% of the total cruise price. And that can be a little pricey, and people will look at that and go, well, I don't know. Do we want to add another, say, $150 per person and it's you and your spouse going? It could be $200-300 or more for travel insurance. Is it worth it? Yes, it's worth it. Now, I'm not trying to sell cruise line travel insurance to you or tell you that's what you should buy, but just be aware that the cruise lines are not the only option to get travel insurance. We'll cover that later in this video. So we're going to start off by talking about the four main reasons you really need to have cruise insurance. And you might not be aware that the most important one is probably one you're not even thinking about because, like me, you probably had a misconception. And that misconception is if you have health insurance, your health insurance is going to pay for any medical situation you're going to encounter while you're on your cruise. I'm sad to tell you, it does not. Your health insurance in the United States will not be accepted as payment towards health care once you get on a cruise ship, and especially when you get into the different countries and different ports. So it's important to understand how critical it is because in many countries, they only accept cash. When I say cash, they'll take credit cards, but you have to pay up front for your medical care. So having travel insurance and making sure you have a good medical coverage in that policy is very critical. Now, there's another real big one. If you have any kind of serious health issue and you're far enough away from the United States, you're going to need to be medevaced back to most likely Florida because that's where most cruises are originating out of Florida, but back to the mainland United States to a hospital there to get your medical care, your medical treatment. Now, being emergency evacuated from another country, that can cost tens of thousands of dollars. And guess what? They don't take IOUs, guys. They don't take your health insurance card. You have to pay for it up front. So that's the most important reason to have health or travel insurance is the health insurance coverage. That's the most important reason. Everybody thinks you get the insurance for, protecting the cruise itself if it gets canceled. Well, that's cancellation insurance, and that's part of your insurance policy. So we're going to start with medical being the most important thing. You have to have that. We're talking, there's stories, guys. You can look up on Google and, search for cruise passengers that didn't have health insurance, and you'll hear nightmare stories about all the debt they encountered to, pay for it. And all you had to do is have a good travel insurance policy and you wouldn't pay anything. Now, on to the next one. And this is one everybody thinks we're talking about, and that's cancellation insurance. If for some reason you have to cancel the cruise, something comes up, your work schedule changes, a family member announces they're getting married, there's a death in the family, whatever it might be, and you need to cancel the cruise. Now, we're going to talk about this at the end, but again, you need to review the policy that you're purchasing and make sure it covers those type of situations. Now, a lot of them are going to have limitations. So say we'll cover up to $2,000 or $3,000. So you have to read the fine print. It's very, very important that you read the fine print. But that's your cancellation insurance. Number 3, travel interruption insurance. What's that? Well, you're out at sea and you find out you had an emergency back home. Something very serious that requires you to leave and fly back to the United States. If you have, the interruption insurance, you can do that. It will cover it so you can get back home. And that's very important. So interruption coverage. So that's another factor. And then finally, we're going to just stop at your luggage and personal belongings. We're going to leave it there. There's a few other things travel insurance covers, but we're going to talk about what I call the big 4. So your luggage gets lost, which can happen. Now, guys, a lot of people they don't understand the complexity of getting your luggage from where you check in at the airport to the plane, from the plane to the next terminal in the next city, from there down to the carousel where you take it, you give it to porters before you get on your cruise. Then they take it and then they have to get it from the terminal onto the ship. So it's handled by multiple people during that time, and then reverse order at the end of the cruise. There's a possibility your luggage can end up getting lost. Okay. So it's really important to make sure you have a good policy to cover your luggage. And if you're a content creator like myself, chances are you're traveling with thousands of dollars worth of equipment because it adds up really fast, guys. So you got to make sure that your luggage is covered. And that's why, again, reading the policy. So I covered the four big things you need. Oh, and I didn't even mention your luggage has all of your expensive shoes and your clothing. Now think about how many outfits you have in your suitcase. And a lot of us buy new clothes before a cruise. We're proud to show off our new shoes, whatever it might be. That stuff adds up. It gets really expensive really fast. So again, you got to read the fine print and get the amount of coverage you feel comfortable with. Okay. So I covered the 4 main reasons why you need to have travel insurance, and it's not optional. I will talk about a couple negatives. It's expensive. So it's like all insurance. It's expensive and you hope you don't have to use it, but it's an expense you need to accept and embrace. Just embrace that expense. Now, I can tell you a good way to save money on travel insurance is buying a policy outside of the cruise lines. And again, when you're shopping around for insurance online, you have to be very, you got to read all the details, guys. And ask for recommendations from friends. Now, I have no affiliation with my travel insurance company, but Laura and I use Alliance. I believe it's ALLIANZ, Alliance. That's the company we've been using the last couple of years. We have an annual travel policy. We travel a lot. We travel more than like the average person, most likely. We're doing we've done 25 cruises in the last 4 years, and currently we have 6 more booked, 4 more in the next 7 months. So anyways, we go around 6 cruises per year. And the way the annual policy works that we have, it covers us from the minute we leave our house. The minute we put our luggage in our car, we head out to the airport, it covers us on the flight. It covers us at the next hotel in the next city we're in. It covers all aspects of our travel, land and cruise. It's good if you travel a lot. Now, if you're doing more than, I say, 3 cruises a year, it's going to be, I'd say more than 2 cruises a year. You're going to save money buying your own policy on the outside. I believe our annual policy is only around $300, and there's no limit on the amount of cruises we can take. And we have not had to file a claim yet, but I picked that company because it was recommended by people I highly respect. I did my research, and I went through and picked a policy that has the amount of coverage I feel comfortable with. Now, I'm not buying like a crazy policy that's going to cover tens of thousands of dollars of loss I'm not going to really incur, because that's silly. But I have peace of mind to know that I have travel insurance. And I recommend, again, even if, say, you only do one cruise a year, but you do several land vacations, you still might want to get a traveling policy, because now when you book a hotel, the hotels always are offering travel insurance. The airlines offer insurance to insure your flight. And if you start doing that, if you buy the insurance through your airline, you do the insurance at the hotel you're staying at, you do the insurance on the cruise line, it's way more expensive than just buying a policy. And a lot of times, those companies, the airlines, the cruise lines, the hotels, they're using the same companies you can book a policy through yourself, like Alliance. So they're not insurance companies. They use insurance companies. So that's how that works. So I hope that answers your questions and helps you with travel insurance. If you have any other questions about that, feel free to leave a comment, and I'll get right back to you and answer your question, address your comment. And yeah, travel insurance, guys, don't leave home without it. Thanks. We'll talk to you soon.